going on? It's your boy, Sensei the Bird Cartesi. I mean, fresh off of that nap. Oh, I was tired. Nigga was tired, man. Just woke up like literally like 20 minutes ago. You feel me? But we here. We in the building. Episode track 14, volume 4. What's going on? We got the gang. We got Con Man. We got Zell. We got Mao. We got Sleepy Sensei in the building. What's going on? How y'all doing?
It was good. What's up with y'all? What it sound like?
Yo, I'm nice, dog. I've been playing with what's his name? My boy Jeff. I'm nice.
Yeah. I hate Jeff.
I've been fucking with Jeff, dog. He nice.
It's tough. We could do the storm team up.
All right, so hot topic.
This is a hot topic. Y'all season about the
That is not a hot topic.
Marvel Rivals always the hot topic.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you got listen, man.
That's a different show.
About to get the Phoenix, Blade.
You know what I mean? Blade done woke up. Like, come on, dog.
Was laying in that bed for 2 seasons.
That is 2 seasons. He definitely was in that job.
Like black people during the summertime. Nigga, that nigga was not outside.
Yeah, man, shout out to but yeah, we here today. We got some documentaries to talk about. But before then, let me set this thing to public on Facebook so people can watch.
Okay, don't fight over the armrest. Hey, friend.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't been letting me change it. All right, but let's get the current events. It won't let me set it to public. But go to edit post. And then it just.
Why do you put this voice on this? You made it.
I don't get what's going on. All right, but whatever.
See, it goes. You keep changing it.
God damn, phone falling and shit. All right, let's go. Let's get to the current events. Let's go. Yeah, so did y'all hear album of the year? It dropped. You know what I mean? Like, dropped on Friday. Did y'all hear it?
Are you doing a comedy thing? Or you're doing a comedy thing?
Surprise album drop. People saying this album of the year.
Woo.
Punchline is?
No. Shout out to happy birthday to Missy though, but that's not the punchline. There you go.
Happy birthday, Miss.
The punchline is
Yeah.
King Combs and Ye. No. Okay, so anyway, how
There
about
you go.
fucking Dolphins or whatever? Like,
Yeah, no, nobody. We from Philly. We don't care about Miami.
this is
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what this is. Like,
But your man Kanye, King Combs, they dropped the project together. You know what I mean?
and
You know what I mean? Did he free?
Free now, right?
no, he's not.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's not. But you know what I mean?
They said that they charged them. They could only charge them at like 1 or 2 things.
That is not what happened. Please, do not let people paraphrase for
I
you.
was talking to Rivals.
If you exactly.
Listen, I ain't hear nothing about him being free. I'm just saying.
No, he's not. He's referring to the fact that, like, before the card was submitted to the jury for which charges they were actually to determine, of the 17, 1 or 2 of them were taken away, leaving a good 15 other charges, which do include trafficking and coercion.
But the bull on I was talking on Rivals. He said that they not gonna stick.
So anyway, in real life, what the moral of that story is get your information from real sources and fact check verifiable places. If all you saw it was like some words like in white lettering above a black caption and then that was it, don't do that.
What's better than word of mouth?
Don't do that. Literally
Don't do that. Do that.
Word of mouth.
But yeah, that John dropped. But yeah, and better news.
Pass. Next.
54th birthday to the legendary.
Wow.
You know what I mean? What's your favorite Missy song and favorite Missy album?
She kind of does an air horn sort of thing. Favorite Missy song. I'd have to marinate. I have like 3 or so that come to mind immediately, and then I might have to like listen to them all and like whittle it down. But Gossip Folks is one of my very favorite. I mean, I know it's like, you know, like The Rain is always
Right.
in the top 3. Gossip Folks, and maybe is that your bitch? Is that her, or is that considered like a Memphis Bleak song? She, you know. There's a lot to love there. We should do a
My
Miss.
song is favorite album always gonna be Under Construction. And then, you know what I mean? That joint always gonna be my favorite. But I do like Gossip Folks too.
My favorite Missy song. My favorite Missy album.
And Nothing Out There for me, that's like my joint. Beyonce, I like that.
All right, well then.
But yeah, happy birthday to Missy. Shout out to Missy. You know what I mean? In other news, your man Kendrick Lamar adding some Latin America dates to the tour. You know what I mean?
And some Latin American artists?
You know what I mean? Yeah, he got Paco Amoroso and you know, this other person.
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to say that. Catriel?
Yeah, somebody. But he out there, he gonna be in Mexico, he gonna be in Colombia, he going to Brazil, you know what I mean, Argentina and Chile.
All right, passport stamps. Uh-oh.
Shout out to the McDonald's Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? But you know, Kendrick out in Latin America, so shout out to the Latin America homies. You know what I mean? Y'all might get a different show, like how to.
Who are these people? Like, they're not on any of the songs, so is it just like this new?
They just on. Yeah, I mean, I
that
guess
would
that.
make sense, you know, if he has like local artists opening over there, because I don't know who opens for him here, but like they not really nobody over there, so it would make sense to put somebody from there on over there. Like, okay, good on them.
So it's a hip hop duo, actually. The two people, they're a duo.
Oh, they're an act.
Yeah, so they're a duo. They're an experimental trap, hip hop, and electronic pop duo from Buenos Aires, Argentina. You know what I mean? So
okay. I mean, he tends to do some homework. So he must have, you know, looked into them a little bit and decided that they were worth like putting on the ticket. You know, like, I'm basically vouching for you by having you come to my shit, and people who paid to see me are going to see you.
definitely.
Okay.
And he got him in the hometown in Argentina. So I mean, but yeah, shout out to Kendrick.
So that'll run numbers over there. That's
You
good.
out in Central America, go check him out.
Good on everybody, I guess.
All right, next. Oh yeah, so there was a interview the other day, right? T-Pain was talking. They asked him about the whole Drake thing, Drake, Kendrick, whatever. And T-Pain had said that Drake doesn't follow his own words of gracefully bowing out. You know what I mean? Because he said, you know, years ago that, you know, he don't want to make music if motherfuckers don't fuck with him no more, shit like that. So when he said that, Broski, can you chill out? When he said that, Drake commented and said, "This guy always had resentment for me. You can hear it every time he speaks on my name." So that's Drake speaking about. So Drake said, "This guy has resentment for me. You can always hear it when you speak on my name." I mean, you know, you want to have defense from Offset of all people, but he said the boy is the boy. Shit ain't gonna change. All that hating on another grown man who do more numbers than everybody is diabolical. You know what I mean? That's what he said.
You said that?
Offset
That's what Offset said. And then you had videos.
crying about his girl dating somebody else now. Like,
I
aren't we hating on the? All right, okay.
Then we had videos of Drake's man Chubbs in Paris asking random DJs, do they know who T-Pain is? And he kept laughing because the DJs didn't know. But in my opinion, that says more about the DJ than it says about T-Pain.
Also, didn't you say they were in France?
Yeah, they was in France.
Yeah, that's not a diss for like some French fucking DJ that would be hosting Drake and them. And you ask, like, do you know who T-Pain is? Which is like, it's not even a shady question. It could be a normal question. And so for the fact that the DJ to be like, no, like, yes, you're right. It says more to a DJ's invasive knowledge than nobody knows who T-Pain is. No, you bitch. You go to like France and ask some punk ass Drake fan DJ if they know who T-Pain is. The fact that they don't says more about what they don't know about music than what they do. Like, boo.
Right. It wasn't the flex he thought it was.
It was the opposite. It means you don't know nobody who knows something black. They know you. Boo.
Yeah, but the narrative they try and spin is T-Pain always hated on Drake, no matter no matter any point in his career.
I don't think that's true. Right? Didn't they do something together before?
Which I never heard T-Pain really speak on Drake until this.
Maybe that is what they mean. Maybe we've reached the point where, like, if you haven't vocally praised Drake in the past, you are now seen as some sort of Drake hater.
That's not true because T-Pain has praised Drake.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I asked. Like, I don't know enough of either one of them to know if they like worked together and it was very popular.
But your man is Offset. Do we have a point though?
No, not at all.
The boy is the boy. You know what I mean?
Offset has not had a point, like, yet. Maybe,
okay, definitely.
Maybe one day.
Yet it's crazy. Shout out to Cardi. You know what I mean?
I mean, that speaks to her too.
Cardi, she chilling.
Yep.
Speaking of Cardi, you know what I mean? Now with Up, Enough, and her new song Outside, Cardi B now holds the crown for the most solo top 10 debuts by a female rapper on the Hot 100. So shout out to Cardi. You know what I mean?
All right.
She keep getting them top 10ers. Boy, what is going on with you over there?
That's like a weird thing they're doing with the way singles are released now. It's like you have to release 17 singles before you ever put out your album. Like, I don't know. It's obviously just to plug your numbers so that like your streams and all your shits look right on paper. But like, I'm not like, isn't this like technically her second album? Like,
yeah, technically, yeah.
Fucking 15 years at this point, and we're like, her second album's about to drop. Like, I don't know.
Y'all excited for that second album from Cardi?
I'll listen to it to be sure, but I mean, she's also one of those people that kind of like to make songs that sound like her other songs. I mean, if you've heard one, you've heard them all. But if you like it, then you listen to them all.
Definitely.
So,
I wonder whose style she gonna steal this one.
I mean, if you heard one, you heard them all.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you heard one, you heard them all. Don't even matter. They all sound like each other.
Also, GNX by Kendrick Lamar becomes the longest running number.
Longest running number one.
Spins a record breaking 22 weeks at the top spot, surpassing Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon by Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? So,
well, I've not heard of that, but good for him.
Shout out to Pop Smoke. But
Good for his tour, good for his album, good for his.
is this the greatest victory lap we ever seen?
In context, yes, absolutely. In context of like this is essentially like after he was done with the beef, and this album doesn't even really touch it, like really. Yes, he made so much noise that everyone was staring at him, and then he was like, "Oh, here's an album," and everyone loves it because it's fantastic. It got me the Super Bowl, but also I'm gonna do that song that's not on the album because that's the song you want to do. Like, yes, this is a phenomenal run, unsurpassed. I'd say.
And as of now, GNX has achieved significant milestones, including becoming the highest grossing co-headlining tour in history. You know what I mean? Over 250 million in revenue. You know what I mean? 100.
Do we adjust for inflation for that though? Because everything costs more than it ever has in the whole wide world. So like I feel like good for him, but also like groceries is $150 for like 2 bags worth of stuff. So like I don't know if it's like
Hey man, people still spending that. They still spending that money.
people are going,
Man,
but also like tickets after buy tickets so they can resell them. So does that count as like tickets? Whatever. Not the point. Not the point.
yo, but y'all remember last year when they was beefing and they said Kendrick couldn't do this? Remember?
I do. I do remember that. And like all the Drake fans were like, yeah, but he ain't selling out no fucking stadium. He's not Drake can't buy a hit right now. Drake can't buy a full stadium. He can't buy a hit. He's in his flop era. That's what,
Shout out to the GNX tour though, man. Yeah, I mean,
so we can be next year.
you know. But yeah, that's your current events. Yeah, I mean,
The trial has begun. Has anyone kept up? I've been
oh yeah, the trial. Oh yeah, this I had this.
I've been reading the oral arguments. That's got well, I don't know. This looks like Twitter. I
you know,
I follow him on Blue Sky. He posts like live posts of the
we need
argument.
the Diddy trial ticker. What's going on?
It was good. Well, wait, that was the Diddy trial or the UMG Drake?
Oh no, that
Oh,
was
that's it. Well, he does both. I stopped looking at the Diddy one because now they're in deliberation. But the UMG Kendrick trial has been the oral arguments have begun, and he's been posting those. And the judge was like, "What about that AI Tupac?" And the Drake's lawyers were like, "That was different. That was one time." Like it's very interesting. You should read them. They're not that long, but it's funny to watch a judge try to like parse his way through the beef.
yeah. I mean, UMG attempts to explain Kendrick Lamar's certified PDF files in court disc.
The judge was asking about it. He's like, what is that? And he's like, well, the album was called Certified Lover Boy. He's like, well, would everybody know that? And the judge, the lawyer's like, I mean, kind of, yeah. Everybody knows Certified Lover Boy.
Also, this trial, if you haven't seen, I think it was an interview. What was it, New York Times or something? GQ, something with the clips. You know what I mean, they basically was speaking on how this situation with Drake.
I did read that.
You know,
I did read those. Those were good.
I think that's an interesting conversation because rap was built on being able to say whatever the fuck you wanted to say, and now, I mean, you got somebody trying to police that basically by taking this whole, thing to court and everything. So it's like it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? How we went from the rap music being the voice of the people to now you suing niggas because of, but all right.
It's good. If we get around to reading the transcripts by next week, it would be worth talking about, because this is kind of that thing of like, what is art versus what is actionable. Like, is Drake violating the general code of, art is art, or like lyrics are lyrics, or are you trying to defame my character? And I'll see you in court, buddy. Mm,
Bucko.
right? Talk to
I
my
see.
lawyer, pal.
I see you in court, Bucko. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, oh, you diss me. He dropped Not Like Us. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. That's my next.
Like the lawyers were like, Kendrick didn't know he was going to perform at the Super Bowl, and Drake's lawyers are like, he could have guessed. Like that's not how that works. You cannot do that.
I think this trial could do two things. You know what I mean? It can make Drake look even worse, of course. You know what I mean? And also, it could be a win for a lot of artists. You know what I mean? Moving forward. But we'll see.
Is
We'll
it
see what happens.
an album? Didn't you say he's trying to do more music again? Like,
Yeah, he's supposed to be dropping the album
in this month?
in the next couple months. Well, in the next month or whatever.
Are we in July? Was it supposed to be in July? Isn't he supposed to?
They say it's supposed to drop summer 2025. You know, it's July 1st. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
All right.
You know what I mean? We'll see if it comes out or not. You know what I mean?
I'm sure it'll come out, but I don't think it'll amount to anything. I think Drake's moment, like big moment, has passed. I think he'll still maintain some fans and stuff. People can still run his.
Oh, Drake said. I mean, when he dropped No Kid, he showed y'all that he wasn't dead.
Did you see the picture?
He's
That
still,
coming in the hot tops.
what the
Drake's not
the
in new photo with them fresh out the pack abs.
the V8.
See the wrinkles because you didn't even shake them out.
You know what I mean?
Ew. He's
Your
still
core audience. You know what I mean?
12. That's a fast one.
V8, that's a fast one. Mhm.
V12.
V12.
And remember that sound in the beginning of 616 in LA, that like that's the sound of that machine. That's the sound of the fucking fat sucker lipo machine.
Shout out to the V12 boys. You know what I mean? The V12 boys, shout out. You know what I mean? They out here pulling fast ones. They out here pulling fast ones.
See the picture? Like it looks like a mirror. It's a mirror picture. It looks like he's like in a tree.
I mean, I could find it for you. Hold on.
It's like all these like bottles, but like it's like a shitty kind of thing. And then he's standing there shirtless. I guess you can see the abs, but literally nothing else on his body. It's like exercise. Who skips arm day? Like he just was deflated in the chest, in the pocket. Not good. And I just
Here you go, right here.
You're 40.
As it says,
No, what's that?
Drake got Chris Jericho abs. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's okay. You're gonna be alright.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that's it. That's it. Yes, he posted this because this is what he wants you to see.
Any glasses, I can't see.
Yeah, enlarge or like zoom in. What are you doing?
It's all good. All right. Okay.
This is it. Like this is what he wants to do. This is how he reaches out to the world. He doesn't say much, I guess. So this is what he's like. Oh, hey, look, guys. Bad bodied, bad built food.
Y'all see it? Y'all hear that Kendrick verse on the clips, y'all?
Chains and whips, definitely. Hold on.
Are we getting a sniff?
According to the interwebs, it was leaked and then it was taken down.
When is the album come? Are we not supposed to have it yet?
The album is coming out. I believe July something. Hold on. July 11th.
Next week, 10 days, a week and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, let God sort them out. July 11th.
Single, it was just a
Kendrick on there changing whips. You know what I mean? Pusha T said that after the song, after they recorded, Kendrick called him and said that he wanted to do another song on the album. You know what I mean? So you never know. It might be a deluxe with another Kendrick verse.
I saw, an alleged track list, and features and all, and he's on there, so it's okay.
I mean, shout out to boy Kendrick. You know what I mean? Oh, are we excited for this joint though?
I'm
Y'all rocking?
reading the articles. I like that.
Track list. You know what I mean? You got John Legend on here, Kendrick, Tyler the Creator. Got Pharrell and The Dream. You know what I mean? Shout out to Stove God Cooks on here. You got Ab Lava on here as well, and Nas is on it. You know what I mean? So 13 tracks, 14 maybe. So.
No,
John Legend, Voices of Fire, Kendrick, Tyler, Pharrell, and Dream. So, Kevin Pharrell. Is he producing the album, or does he just happen?
Yeah, he producing and he on the tracks. Shout out my boy Ab Lava from Philly.
We're all about to talk about piece by piece in a minute, so it's kind of vaguely relevant.
Shout out to Philly on the album. Ab Lava's on the album. But yeah, that's the track list. That joint come out next week, so we'll definitely get y'all an album review.
Why does it say unreleased next to some of them? What's that for?
That I don't know, but
what did it say? Lyrics for the song. They don't have it on whatever. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's coming out next week. Hopefully it'll have a better score than what album was that? We did. Yeah, man. Y'all ain't like it. It was somebody album. Y'all ain't like it.
Wayne?
Well, we ain't like it.
Well, that was that. It was his fault.
As a whole, we ain't like that Jones ass. Shout out to, still Wayne's still my boy, but
I know you're talking about. You know what I mean? Talking about Coco Jones, right?
Oh yeah, that Jones wasn't, either, but
it wasn't bad, bro.
It was better than Wayne though.
It definitely was better than Wayne.
Definitely better than Wayne.
He was better. Yeah. Better than that Jones.
Easily, she should feel good about.
Definitely.
She put out a better album than Lil Wayne.
That would have been a very that would have been a great feat like 10 years ago. But
you get to say it. You get to say that me and him put out an album the same year.
When you talking to your grandkids,
me.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about it. It's all
they don't care about that.
Yeah, old school.
It's gonna be all old and back in the day.
Throwback.
Wayne actually dropped the album. I dropped the album same year. I think.
Speaking of the kids, I seen a video the other day that go back to the topic we was talking about last week. They asked a bunch of teenagers in the classroom, did they know Nas, Wale, or Jim Jones? And all the answers said they knew Nas, they knew Wale. They don't know Jim Jones.
That's not surprising.
But the Jim Jones narrative is that all the youth fucks with him more than everybody. And they asked all the youth.
He has not been outside his own backyard.
They asked all the youth, "Do you know Jim Jones?" And they said, "No."
Don't nobody know Jim Jones.
But I know Nas. I know Wale though. I'm just saying.
You know what? I know about Jim Jones.
Looking good for you, Jim. I'm gonna listen to that album just to see if you.
Did we ever address the whole Cox and that and Wale interaction?
Oh, at the BET Awards, no. I mean, Wale walked past Kai Cenat. I can show you the video, but Wale walked past. His chat was like, "Oh, that's Wale," and whatever. And he was like, "Oh, who that?" Like he basically ain't know who Wale was. And then Wale came back.
Sounds surprising.
Afterwards, and was like, I mean, they just had a conversation because he felt kind of like disrespected, like how you know, I mean.
I feel like that's a little bit more pathetic. Like to go to a person that who you didn't talk to him, he didn't talk to you, but the internet saw him not know you, and it got back to you. And in the same event, you walked over to him and was like, "Hey, I'm Wale." Like is that not pathetic?
That's not what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. What happened?
That's not what happened. So basically, Cox and that.
I'll show you the video.
All right.
So you got that bomb, huh? I'm trying to detonate.
I don't know any of this songs.
What up, Rusty? What up? How you doing? My boy? My boy? What up, Rusty? You good? What you playing on your Nintendo Switch? Smash Bros? I'll beat you. Yeah. Chad, does anybody have the Nintendo Switch? You're not even a Nintendo Switch type of nigga. Nah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie. But I heard it was like crazy though. I heard it was crazy, bro. Wally. Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. Hey, the whole chat knows him.
Oh wait, that was it? Yeah. Well, I didn't recognize him either. I'm sorry.
Oh, word.
You know this? You looking like Lotus Flower Bomb and all that stuff?
Oh, shit.
Movie, Wally.
Shout out to Wally.
Yo, can I just say, yo?
Is that bad?
That don't sound
that
bad to me.
That was a super fast,
that don't sound bad to me. That didn't look bad to me.
That's what I'm saying. So what happened was,
and I saw them link back up and talk.
Yeah, they linked back up. Yeah,
talking about the Nintendo Switch and all of that shit. Yeah, bro. So,
but wait,
he said he be streaming. Now that's how I know that Wale be streaming because I saw them do that interaction.
I did know that. I don't even know that.
Yeah, bro, that's not a bad thing.
So wait,
you don't gotta make that a negative.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
I didn't say it was bad. The internet made it that way.
Like Wale,
but Kai Cenat said after the whole thing, like I was 9 when Wale was popping. So like, I mean,
that's not a bad thing.
Can't expect me to know. You know, he was not.
10 years, no. 10 years ago, it would be like 2014, 15. That's Wale dropping music. Right?
That's crazy to me.
I don't know his music.
But
bomb.
Basically, after that interaction, and he was sitting at his seat and shit, Wale went up to approach him, and all he said to him was, "Oh, yo streaming today made me look kind of crazy. It's like we talk about it later." That's it. He didn't say, "Oh, you don't know me. I'm Wale." Da 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 da. He didn't say what Mal was thinking what happened. He just mentioned like, "Oh, that made me look a little crazy." That's it. Nothing crazy.
Shout out to Wally.
Shout out to Wally.
Wally.
He was like, that was just somebody crazy. That was Wally.
Shout out to Wally, man. That was Wally.
That was good. No, that was
know.
Yeah, no,
but yo,
that was not bad.
Look how cool Kai was. He didn't even know who that was, and he busted up with him talking about him on Switch. He was like, "I'm playing Smash." You like, "I'll trash you." That's love. Like I'm just saying.
Shout out to Kai Cenat and Wally. Hopefully, Wally will be on stream with him soon.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of these young like celebs that don't know like top tier artists and shit. Like, wasn't it like I don't know what female artist this was. I want to say it was Glorilla, but somebody came out with a song. It was like very similar to somebody who did the song before. I think it was Nelly.
It was Kylie. It was the shorty Kylie. She came out with the song Area Codes. and she said she
Yeah.
never heard the Ludacris version.
Never heard of it. Like,
But the chorus and everything was exactly like the song. I mean, but
it
you
be
never
so
heard
many. And then somebody else said, "Oh, I don't know who Busta Rhymes is. Oh, I don't know who Method Man is. I don't know who these."
What that says to me is that like obviously these are performers who are not like making their own beats and whatever. Like they're not in the studio making them songs. They're just
But
you know
the thing with Kali was
they're just doing lyrics somebody wrote for them because they
Right.
can just.
the thing with her where people was upset is like, all right, your song
These
is
are
called
direct-
Area Code. You saying verbatim what Ludacris said on the song Area Code. You from Georgia where the song was
Exactly.
popping at.
You mean to tell
And
me
you said
you don't
you
know
never
Luda?
heard of it. Yeah,
And
I
she
mean,
was like what 19 or
yeah,
something.
but yeah, she was young as hell. So it's like,
All right.
yeah, I mean,
That's my point.
You can't
When
be
you
tired.
are young, and especially 9, or even anywhere in between 8 in the teens or whatever,
Bro,
music.
she was probably 6 years old when that song came out. Like,
I
come
think
Years
on.
old is when I'm the most impressionable.
but at 6, were we not listening to songs we weren't
That's what I'm
supposed to?
saying,
How is she supposed to? How is she supposed to? Come on, like you gotta.
bro. That's what I'm
At
saying.
some point.
Like, we be giving way too many passes in
No,
this
it's not
like
about-
generation.
It's
bro.
not a
I
pass.
swear, bro, when we grew up, everything was a like check knowledge shit. When I was growing up,
Right.
like I knew a lot of artists that was not my generation.
We hit a particular vortex where we have references for both all of the current stuff, but we had access and readily available all this old stuff. So we know like really old stuff, like music
We
and
was
movies and
raised.
stuff.
We was raised on the old stuff.
But there are studies that will show you that even though we have more access to anything now, we use less of it. And so a lot of stuff just sounds really small and like
Well, it's past lunchtime now, so we might as well.
it's because there's not a utilization of the access to the
And I hear what you're saying, man. But what I'm saying is they're giving too many passes because
it's not a pass. That's just how it works.
can I finish my thought?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. So with Kai being a person who goes to events and constantly is interacting with celebs, going to BET Awards and all these like extravagant events, I would think you would put some form of responsibility for him to understand or know who the audience is of where he's going to these events. Why? Because this nigga even had a viral clip that happened when it was like this white, she was like a white singer or some shit like that. And she tried to approach Kai on some friendly shit. And she was like, oh, whoop, whoop, yeah, check the ID. He was like, oh, who's that? She was like, that's me. He was like, hi, you know who my girlfriend is? Gigi. And he thought she was trying to holler at him or whatever like that. And then the chat was like, nah, nigga, you tripping. She actually is a famous artist and shit like that. He was like, oh, I'm wilding right now? Yeah, you wilding right now. So, yes, I understand he's young, but
So
if you're going to be put the responsibility of having these interactions, and you have to understand that these celebrities have a certain image to protect, and you're mishandling it because you're ignorant to these spaces that you're going to, yeah, I'm gonna hold you to some type of form of responsibility. Same thing with the artist. If you make a song and you come from this area and you should be influenced from this artist, because me, somebody from California, is a huge fan of Ludacris, and I know his music better than you, and you saying you never even heard the song, that's wild. You gotta hold some sense of responsibility, bro.
I think
I don't think you're responsible to know every artist.
I think you're conflating like music appreciation, you know, and just like the art form itself, and then regional appreciation, and that like knowing that's like for the girl, and then not knowing the area code. So that was, you know, that could be her bad, or it's just young people don't know.
What happened to integrity in your craft?
Not knowing shit.
Look.
Kai's brand is being like young, dumb, and fun, and now rich, and like having access. It's not about him being a knowledgeable music person. Like it's not about that. He talks about what's super popular. He talks about what other people are talking about. If he's talking about Wale right now, he's not talking about Wale. That's his brand. Like I wouldn't expect guys to be like walking up to legacy artists and being like, "Oh my God, I can name 7 of your songs. I love your work." Like, no, he's young and popping, and that's what the people do. The fact that he didn't recognize his interaction didn't blow me at all. Like,
Right.
But yeah, you know, Kai Cenat, Wally. Hopefully they'll do a stream soon. You know, I mean, get the Kai Cenat Wally stream. They were supposed to do a Kai Cenat Drake stream, but you know, they realized that nobody was gonna watch that. I was trying to do it the same day Kendrick was in Toronto, and you knew nobody was gonna watch it.
Well, if people would watch it if you didn't do it on that day, like on the day where you're trying to make a point of, look over here. Like, if you did it on a regular day, that would be major. Like, all this like leading
it would definitely
trailer shit. Like, people would eat that up. But if you're trying to be pathetic and be like, "Don't look at him, no, me."
But remember, if you're from Toronto and you went to the show, you're a goof, according to Drake. Yeah, I mean, but let's move on. You know,
let's talk about something good.
Man, shout out to Kendrick. Man, best rapper in the game right now. Not named Westside Gunn. I mean, best rapper. Let's go. Let's get into these documentaries. I mean, we had 2 of them. I mean, that we watched. I mean, good Jones. I like both of them. I mean, it was good. My son don't like them. You know what I mean? Obviously. I mean, no, he don't like anything right now, but never too much. You know what I mean? A voice like no other, which is true. Shout out to Luther Vandross. You know what I mean? Never too much. The documentary. You know what I mean? About a good hour and some change. It's a very, very good watch, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it, you know. So, I got some questions. You know what I mean? I want to ask the group. You know what I mean? We can all, you know what I mean, give our answer, whatever. You know what I mean? Basically, reviewing. Basically, all the questions is basically a review summary of, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Trying, you know, give whatever feedback you want to give, you know what I mean, based off of the question. And then, you know what I mean, you know, we could just keep it going like that. You know what I mean? But the first question I got is, what were your overall thoughts on the documentary? And did it deepen your understanding of who Luther Vandross was beyond his music? That's the first question.
Yeah.
Anybody can go. You know.
It deepened my understanding of just how much work he was doing before he was a solo artist. I really liked that sort of like, as a background singer, he was still basically doing the vocal arrangements for the lead act or band or whatever, to the point where he started getting credits for it, because this was more or less the Luther show and he was in it. So all the artists that he worked with, like, you know, Billy Bowie stuff and things that you like now know as those songs, like, that was because Luther told him to sing it like that. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I had no idea.
I mean, honestly, I didn't really learn much about him. I feel like I guess I didn't know all of this exactly, but I kind of know or knew Luther Vandross' story this much. I feel like, you know what I mean. But I didn't know that David Bowie put him on. I had no idea. That was completely new to me. I definitely, if I took anything away from this documentary, learned anything, it was that. He just outsang everybody. Like, this nigga, he was, and bro, every time he sing, it sounds like the recording. He's like, he's
right.
Really good. Like, he's really that good at singing. But
I did like that.
Yeah, he kept pushing. He was undeniable because he had a bigger voice than everybody. I feel like I kind of knew all of that though. I feel like I kind of knew all of that. But, yeah, it was pretty good.
You want me to answer or you want to go?
Mine's short and sweet. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Learned more about his background, being raised in a church and all that stuff. The woes, the ups and downs of his career. But I didn't realize how much of a diva he came off as. To Yeah, I didn't get that. Like me growing up,
I
seeing the on surface Luther, I thought he was just a very smooth, talented guy. But behind the scenes, he was kind of a diva. Like he was kind of a
Oh, real bad, like real bad.
yeah.
I did know that part. I
Was you aware before the documentary?
yes,
Because I wasn't aware.
I knew it was one of those things where like I like blind items and like like gossip and stuff about people, and I knew how who was it in Vogue, was it that he hated them, like they were on tour and he would erect curtains so you wouldn't have to see them backstage like at all, and they were like allotted like this real like raggedy little corner and stuff. No, he threw his weight around,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak.
Yeah.
I did know that before this.
Okay.
Uh,
But yeah, my overall thoughts on it, I thought it was good. I thought it was very insightful. You know what I mean? I learned a lot of things that I didn't know about Luther Vandross, which, you know what I mean, I definitely look forward to when I watch a documentary. I want to, the biggest thing, my biggest takeaway when I watch documentaries, I want to know something that I didn't already know about the said person that I'm watching. Like, I mean, because I do pride myself in my musical knowledge, so I know a lot of stuff. But you know what I mean, it's good to find out things that you didn't know. You know what I mean, like the David Bowie thing, I didn't know that. You know what I mean, him being from New York, but I didn't realize he had so much influence from Philadelphia sound in his music. You know what I mean?
that was
So,
fun too.
you know what I mean? That makes me happy. You know, I always love seeing Philly get the recognition that they deserve. You know what I mean? But yeah, my overall takeaway was I felt like I did learn some things. Like I said, I learned some things about Luther Vandross that I didn't know, and I like the fact that they, you know, didn't shy away from certain topics within the documentary, like his,
Right.
you know what I mean, the sexuality conversations and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, that was very insightful and stuff. But yeah, it was a good job. So, excuse me. My next question for everyone: how did you feel about the way the documentary was structured? Did the pacing keep you engaged? And also, was there a particular part of his life or career the film focused on effectively or not enough?
I'll start off. I was not that engaged, to be honest with you. I thought it was very slow paced. Um, did I think that, unlike the question that you asked, was like, oh, did I feel like they should have focused more on this than that? No, I actually thought, as far as the focus was, they actually did encompass the details necessary to like paint a full picture of him. So I won't say that. I do feel like the focus was on point. But I would have liked to see like more of his performances on in the documentary. You know what I'm saying? Like what was going on more around like this time frame when he did this performance. I saw a lot of background stuff and his association with certain celebrities and stuff like that. But I would have liked to see more of his highlights, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah, the pacing was real slow. I think they, yeah, I don't know. I felt like they kind of drew the whole thing, just drew it out. I mean, it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't really much of his early career at all, or how he started. You know what I mean? How he started. They kind of just started him off as a background singer type of deal. It wasn't like what happened before that. Like how did he get into music? Or, you know what I mean? All of that. So I mean, I guess that would have been kind of nice. Like I said, I feel like I don't really know much more about Luther Vandross than I already did. I feel like they would have went into him as a kid or his parents or something like that. I would have probably learned more about him, but I didn't.
I would agree. Generally, I didn't. I mean, other than the, like you said, it kind of began with him already kind of working professionally. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it should be like, I mean, Luther, not quite enough.
Not
Like,
quite enough.
That's funny.
there. I just
Not quite enough is the bid.
That was creative.
I did appreciate the background footage, but yeah, you know,
I'm gonna be honest. You know what I mean?
I like more there.
Pacing as far as keeping me engaged, I got more engaged as the documentary went on. Like, I mean, as it built up,
Slow start.
I mean, it kept like in the beginning, I mean, it was a slow burn. It's like, all right, I mean, I had to,
Look like cornbread.
you know, distract myself so I could watch it. Like, all right, stop playing the game, nigga. Watch it. You know what I mean? So then once I started watching it, you know what I mean? You know, things started to pick up. I mean, I feel like the film, did I want it to focus on something more? I don't think so. I feel like they kind of, you know, did what they were supposed to do as far as, you know, focusing on the health aspect, the, you know what I mean, the personal life aspect, the sexuality and all that other stuff. Like, I mean, I feel like they did a good job of that. So, you know what I mean, I feel like they was effective in that point. But when we go on to the next question, you know what I mean, which moments or stories in the documentary moved you the most, and did you learn anything surprising or unexpected about Luther Vandross?
I'll go. Some of the songs that he did, I was actually like, I didn't know that was Luther. Like, it's certain songs that he touched of different genres that had his influence or voice on it that I didn't even, iconic songs that I was like, that's Luther? And I was like, okay, this is why this motherfucker belonged in the tournament, because I was like, for somebody to be that musically talented, for your voice to not be like necessarily, thank you, recognized, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how to switch up your style of sound. I was like, okay, yeah, this dude really had it. Like, it's a reason why he was a legend during his time, or still to this day. So yeah, that was the most surprising thing. What was the first part of the question?
The first part of the question was, which moments or stories in the documentary moved you the most?
I guess it was, you know, about, like you said, his health, and you know, his relation to his father and all that stuff. Like, that was pretty heavy, but you know, that was moving. But besides that, I think I was more invested in the story that didn't involve that, but that moved me as far as like, damn, like that's a lot to balance. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll answer. For me, what moved me the most was seeing like how basically we all know how talented Luther was, how great he was vocally. But yeah, I mean, just in the beginning of his career, the disrespect, I mean, that was basically thrown his way because of, I mean, his size and all that. I mean, the being overlooked basically. I mean, and then seeing how much love how much recognition he gets from everybody in the music industry. Like, I mean, it's just, you know, that's always good to see. You know what I mean? So that's what moved me the most. And then, you know, what was the second part of the damn question? I mean, the surprising things, the unexpected. Like I said, I didn't know about the David Bowie thing. I didn't even know about all the fucking commercial jingles and all that shit. You know what I mean, he was doing and all that. Like, I ain't know none of that. Like, I mean, so you know, that was a good surprising, you know what I mean, thing to see. And also, you know, just to see how meticulous he was as an artist. Yeah, I mean, that's something like, you know, you don't really, I mean, you love to see how people work. You know what I mean, how they, you know, do their craft and all that. You know what I mean, it was good to see that. So that's my answer.
Some I guess the movie helped me realize about Luther Vandross is that he was like more than like a, I guess, creative or like an artist. He was more like a machine. Like he more like just wanted to use his voice to make money. Like, you know, like he was always on the business side. He was always trying to, you know what I mean, build wealth with, you know, his words. He didn't care if other people wrote the songs. Over time, I see, you see like he gets more and more commercial. Like he just I realized that he was more like a machine than I thought he was. I thought he was just like kind of like the soulful artist, but in terms of, you know what I mean, he was more involved in how much money he was going to make and what he was doing with it, and that he wasn't being overlooked. And that could be because he was overlooked for so long that eventually he, you know what I mean, he found his worth and things like that. But I didn't realize that about him.
What did it text me? I do remember I felt like an extreme flare of anger when they were talking about like how his weight was like this active sort of facet of him as an artist, and how like I don't remember who it was. Somebody was like, they said that's Luther Vandross, and I said no, it's not. He's like 150 pounds heavier, and he was like, ha ha ha. I don't know. I hated that. Like whatever that. Well, I don't remember who said it, but I hated that. And it just kind of made me consider that, like, through becoming a background artist that becomes a main artist, there is this sort of perception of what a male lead should look like, and he wasn't it. And like looking at him now, like I remember all the Luther jokes and the big body jokes and the blah blah blah. And looking at him now, I'm like, he wasn't even like really that big to me. Like, I don't know, me or my 2025 eyes or whatever, but I'm just like, it just seems so excessive now. Looking at him, like, they were doing so much, and he did lose a lot of weight, fat, you know, like fat. I don't know, whatever. What did I realize about him? I don't know. Okay, so when they talked about how he began with like studying the Supremes and stuff, and like studying the Supremes, like that was serious business. Watching Diana Ross and them on the TV show, I just like one of the first things I thought was like, how did people not know? You know, but I don't know. I don't know that I ended up learning more about him, except the background vocal stuff and the writing for other people. I guess that would also be my thing. But overall, I think, you know, generally well done. I think it requires you to know Luther Vandross. Like I don't think you could just watch this without knowing who he is and get as much out of it. But I think we're still okay.
Apologies. I don't know why my laptop said something, ran into a problem and shut down. So
Definitely.
Final two questions, then we'll move on. All right. Do you feel the film did justice to his legacy as an artist and cultural icon?
No.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's what I just answered. Like, I don't think if you've never heard of him before and you just watch this sight unseen, I don't know that this would really give you much. I think it was more like a little piece for an audience that was already familiar. And so you could take that as a critique for it not being broad enough. But
I mean, I would say yes and no. You know what I mean? Because it shows you some in-depth things about his career that you didn't know. You know what I mean? It lets you, it brings you in to certain things that you may have been left out in the dark of. But also, you know what I mean? I don't think, I mean, it, I don't think it brought everything together the way it was supposed to. You know what I mean? As she said, not quite enough. Yeah, I mean, not quite enough. But I mean, it was good. I mean, it was good enough, but not quite enough. You know what I mean? But
For
yeah,
me, like I said earlier, like it just felt like I felt like they kind of glazed over his highlights. Like they mentioned it. Yeah, they showed a little bit of his accolades, but I felt like the glory of Luther wasn't as praised as it was of speaking about the details and the woes and the things that he was dealing with. Don't get me wrong, I appreciated that they, like I said, did an encompass of his whole character and painted a whole picture. Cool. I just wish they would have gave more flowers to just how much of a phenomenon he was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all. I just know that there's what I grew up on with Luther versus what I saw in the documentary. I kind of left feeling this like sad a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like feeling like damn, like I don't know. Like I just didn't feel like he was champion. If that's how I can say it.
unsung in his
Yeah, it's a very unsung type documentary. Yeah,
in his own movie, it's still an unsung.
yeah.
That's
shout
what
out to Unsung. You know what I mean, the TV One joint.
Yeah, like I feel
Did
like
this tell you
I
he
feel
was
like
as big
I
as
could
he
have got
was?
this. I could have got this documentary like 15 years ago. I feel like I didn't.
15.
I should be able to see people from like today to be able to tell me how much he influenced them to be where they are today. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like it could have got. Like, I understand you had people there who really knew him and things like that, but Luther Vandross, he was like one of the pioneers for like the music that we have now type shit. So I don't know. I mean, I see that. I know they had Jamie Foxx in there, so I know that they. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it was produced by Jamie Foxx.
I know they could. Jamie Foxx could have got more people. That's all.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that was well, we'll just end it there because the last question kind of been answered already, so I ain't even gonna ask that. You know what I mean? Because the last question would probably be a no. You would not recommend this documentary to a new somebody that doesn't know Luther Vandross.
Probably to like my grandma.
You know what? As a matter of fact, have specifically someone in mind that I'm going to recommend this to because he is a big David Bowie fan, and he might know the name Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Might. So I'm going to recommend that he watch this, and then he will learn how Luther Vandross has influenced many an artist and many a genre.
My friends are here. But
Like with the
that is your review for Never Too Much.
like,
You know what I mean? Check it out. It's on Hulu, Amazon Prime, all that good stuff. If you want to watch it, go ahead. You know what I mean?
how you're gonna say this part, and then I'm gonna say
Next, John.
What I hear.
We have
Like, why was I'm sorry so good? It's because he said it.
Piece by Piece.
Hey,
You know what I mean? Brought to you by Pharrell Williams. You know what I mean? Came
You
out
don't
last
fuck with
year.
it?
turn up the volume on your imagination.
Turn up the volume on your imagination.
Do it.
Man.
Dude,
You didn't fuck with it, Mel?
I loved
Oh,
it.
we got questions. Hold on.
We got questions.
Oh, I presume so. Are we doing
No,
reviews or are
let's
we,
get these-
are we
no,
doing
no, we
a
want these-
discussion?
I want the questions.
It's a panel.
You know what I mean?
All right. Lead the panel.
All right. Okay, so the first question that I have for y'all: does the documentary provide a cohesive timeline of Pharrell's life and career? And are there any key moments in his journey that the film highlights particularly well?
Yes.
I would say yes to both questions.
Yes.
It does both things. It talks literally about him from as early as he seems to be able to remember, and works well paced through his development as an artist and a music creator.
They had sounds
Literally.
representing each point in his life. They did that real well. So yeah, I'd say yeah, they definitely did.
What did they do especially well? I don't know if it's
part-
probably like a personal bias thing, and so I would say the thing I thought was done especially well that spoke to me as a viewer was the scene where he's feeling. Actually, it was two scenes. The first was the scene where he's feeling sort of disillusioned. He's like young and doesn't feel understood, and he's going to jail. And they sent him to go to his grandma's, and he goes and she takes him to church. And the way the Lego stained glass was lit was unreasonably beautiful. Like, it didn't need to be so well done. It didn't need to be so particularly rendered. And I thought on another day I could have easily like teared at the mere sight. And I was like, that's beautiful. And it just lent like an extra layer to like his having found a place in a church, like when he felt he had no place and he felt lost and looked out. So that was one I thought they did particularly well. And the second was when he started, when he and Chad started building beats in the apartment of the garage, and they demonstrated that by like these little glowy Legos like being stacked on shelves, and then there were so many that they were just like piled up, and they represented like all these different beats that they had and made and were holding. And I just thought that was so fucking cool. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It just
Right.
like, that he was accumulating so many ideas, and the way to show ideas was little like glowing orbs. I just thought this brilliant medium of doing like hyper realistic Lego movies.
So that leads me to my next question.
Amazing.
How does the Lego animation style affect the storytelling? Did it enhance or distract you from the subject matter? And also, were there any sequences or scenes where the creative approach of the Lego animation style stood out?
Oh, whoops. I answered that already. Sorry.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Those are my two.
oh no, go ahead.
You go, bro.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
Somebody answered.
Well, I was all right. I was just gonna say I thought so.
I thought of another one.
I thought it was. I think it being Legos helped. It was a more of a way to like describe with like imagination and the ways to express what's going on. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it definitely. I think he did that was a really good idea. I don't know who gave him the idea or if it was just his idea.
He said it
But-
like it was his.
Yeah,
Like,
that,
if you,
that
you
is
know,
crazy.
because he has kids, you know, they watch Lego movies. He said it like, I want to do a Lego movie about my life. Wouldn't that be fun? I thought of another extra when a sequence that stood out when he felt so overwhelmed that the flood came, like it bust through the glass in the studio, and then it washed him out to the city, and then it washed out the city and took him out to to the ocean, and then the whirlpool. I thought that was so well done. Uh, it even made me wonder like why don't more people do like Lego versions instead of just like kid movies or like famous remakes and shit. But then I was like, well, no, maybe that would just be derivative and shitty. This was fantastically creative and innovative.
They had Pusha T do the little cell. I saw he grabbed the little money.
All the PG ways they incorporated like not PG shit.
Snoop Dogg when they spraying the smoke.
Yeah, that was hella creative. That was hella creative.
Bro,
man, your thoughts.
All right. So
wait, I thought one more. Wait, go ahead. Sorry.
So fun fact, I met Pharrell when I was in high school. He was at the mall. Hella humble dude. I remember his security was like, oh man, like you feel me? Like, nah, he can't talk to nobody. This little short motherfucker, because Pharrell's hella short. He told his big ass security, he's like, nah, man, these people in Cali, they real people, man. You gotta let me interact with them. Yeah, I swear that's what he said. They real people. I didn't know what he meant like by that, but in my mind, I was like, is this nigga so rich that he's removed from society? That's what I thought when he said it.
Yeah.
Like, these is real people. Like, I don't know what he meant, but that's what he said. And so he interacted with me, took a picture with me. But that was back in the day when, we had flip phones and shit like that. So I don't still have the picture. Anyways, moving past all that, the movie was amazing. The creativity, 10. The storytelling, 10. I love his narration throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
One of the scenes, to answer your question about what stuck out to me. All right, don't like, you feel me, whatever. When he first meets Chad, his best friend, in the band room, I thought that was so beautiful because basically I think he said in the movie, he was like, oh, like he understood the colors or the like music has a color or something like that you can create. And it was like, even people that knew them as friends, like I think it was his parents and stuff, said it was like they communicated the same language without ever having to talk. And so when they first met, it was a very intimate scene, right? They floating in the air together, but he's playing drums and he's playing the saxophone and shit like that. But it wasn't like intimate in a sexual manner, but it was intimate in a soulful manner. And I thought the animation just really played a great role in showing that chemistry between the two. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah.
To answer the question, I feel like the Lego animation enhanced the storytelling. I mean, it didn't distract me at all. I mean, it actually kept me more engaged than the previous documentary watch. I mean, so I feel like the Lego animation definitely enhanced the viewing pleasure of this documentary. And I mean, it probably should be something that a lot more people, decide to get into if they, choose to, run with this trend. I mean, and
I don't think everybody can pull it off.
Yeah, everybody can't. I mean, certain people, but I mean, it would be nice to see other people. I mean, in this type of, setting for a documentary. For me, what stood out to me, it's like really the whole thing. It's just the creative approach of the whole documentary is what stood out. It's like it's a documentary with Legos. Like, everybody's a fucking Lego. But the shit that hit me the most is like in the beginning, when he's sitting in front of the stereo, he said he could, he could see the sounds. He closed his eyes, he could see the sounds, everything. That stood out to me. I like that. So,
even like the cinematography with the Legos, like
beautiful shots.
Did you see when
like
they
literally
did
beautiful
like
shots.
when they did the close up of the pretzel and it was a whole Lego drawing built, but then when you saw them eating the pretzel, it was just that one little pretzel piece. Like
Mhm.
they was doing little things like that the whole entire time. Like the cinematography was also on 10. Like they really, like they didn't spare. Like they really went all out on this joint. Like they didn't
I agree. Definitely.
half-ass anything.
I thought of two more things that were stood out, like the fact that they would recreate music videos.
Oh my
Via
god,
Lego.
that was
They did all
great.
right. They did.
Can I bring it up?
You see?
They did Snoop.
Can I bring it up? I was actually pissed that I'm saying in a good way that
Complimentary.
that the Kendrick Lamar song that he did I was like, why was this not the music video? That shit was that the official music video?
Yeah, remember he's
Remember
like
with the black and the
he's
white
floating in the
Yeah,
sky.
it was black and all that shit, and he floated on the
He's floating in the sky.
that's the video.
Go
Official
back
music
and watch
video.
it, right? Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
hard.
that's the real video. Yeah.
Okay, that's hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's hard. That was hard.
Was it black and white or like
Yeah,
sepia
bro, he
toned
did
black
that.
and
Like
white?
the fact that like how he was like in the transitions was beautiful. Like the fact that he was like, "Oh man, like I made this happy song," which goes back into what Mal was
turned gold. And even
right. Which goes back into what Mal was saying about like I feel like even like the storytelling and the pacing, like how they reference like these key parts of his life and what he went through this dark time, refined himself, and went back to his roots. Like, you feel me? Like that song Happy is going back to the church. You know what I'm saying? Going back to how he was first inspired by music. And then he said, oh yeah, it was a dark, it was like, yes, that was happy. And you see all this color, but he was like, it made him sad because the reason why people gravitated to that song is because they went through a lot of shit to have to appreciate
so happy. I felt like I felt a little deflated, but I guess rightfully so. Like he was like, why are people like clinging to this song? It's because they need something for when they need happy, like, and they need it. They need a piece of happy right now.
And like people were making their own like music videos and shit too.
And it brought him to tears.
He didn't even need to do one. It was crazy.
Right.
He was brought to tears by people like making happy. Like make happy is like the hardest thing in the world. Ah, so good.
Beautiful.
Crazy good.
Next question I got for you. How well does the documentary capture Pharrell's personality and artistic vision?
I'd say it's a little. I mean, it's obviously a little generous, you know.
Yeah.
When they got to Blurred Lines, I was like, "Are we gonna touch on that lawsuit?"
Right. No.
So it's obviously made with the hand of the creator. Is a kind and forgiving one. Like.
I also noticed while talking about like not touching on that subject, did anybody else notice while watching the movie how yes they show a compilation of all the different like artists songs that he inspired or did music for, that when it came to I bring my milkshake, bring all the boys to the yard, that was the only artist that they didn't actually show. I thought that was very interesting. Like they showed the face of every other artist but her.
I thought there was at least another one or two that they didn't, and I thought like maybe that person didn't want to like come and talk. But I do remember noticing that one as well, and I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely not going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So like yes, that's being a little generous, a little grace, a little extra grace scooped on there because he made this.
Yeah, he's narrating.
So he's not going to like talk about how
for sure
I've been shitty to these people. He's going to talk about how like I had to grow in some dark times, and I looked. What did he say? I looked him over my shoulder, and I didn't like what I saw, so I had to go back to something pure. Like I think that was his glossing over any unsightly sort of stuff that you know, if this were a deep dive, then that would be one thing, but it's not. It's you know.
Also, it's the Legos movie. I feel like it should be in a sense of a little lightheartedness.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
fun.
Yeah.
It's not heavy.
Yeah, it
and
wasn't even like cursing all like that.
I realized like
Mhm.
halfway through, I was like, has anyone said a curse word? I don't think I've noticed it. I didn't notice it until I noticed a bleep or something where like
Did anybody notice that they gave Snoop
Did I-
Dogg those extra long legs for the Legos?
Yeah, I
to
saw that.
show how- yeah.
ah,
Yeah,
this was funny. No, this was like
yeah, it was a good joke.
this was just little small bits, like how the phones were enormous. So every time they picked up a phone, the phone was bigger than the whole Lego head. It was just little jokes. I like visual gags like that. And
even when Pusha T got the money, it's like that big square.
they were
money.
huge.
Mhm.
Like,
You
big
just
as
stick
his
it in his
body.
pocket and it disappears. Like it was good magic. It was
No,
cartoon magic.
yeah, and I've always, as a kid growing up, I always loved Legos and Lego sets and Lego men and shit like that. Them Jones was tough, like so. This was right up my alley. Seeing Pharrell, yo, did y'all see that Pharrell? He was responsible for pretty much that whole wave of music back in the 2000s.
My God, is there a question about that before we start talking about
No,
it?
that
Because
is crazy.
he
bro.
wrote every
really-
fucking song you know
Yo.
from like
He
2021.
really pushed the whole
I mean,
entire.
2001 to like 2007.
Yeah, so it was the question was how was Pharrell's musical impact incorporated into the documentary? So I mean, there you go.
Bro, that was a crazy
I
run.
knew that was gonna be a
a
question.
crazy run he went on, bro.
I didn't know what I didn't know. He wrote almost every song I knew. If I go get it right now, I bet you $100 I can go get
from the White
my
Girl
CD
songs,
book, and I
bro.
have so many mixed CDs
Listen,
made with Pharrell songs that I didn't even know.
Pusha T said years ago when Pharrell when he did the Drop It Like It's Hot verse, he said people was asking him like, "Yo, are y'all writing Pharrell lyrics?" And he's like, "Nah, like
No.
he been writing his own bars. He been writing his own music for years, like ever since we know him."
Right.
You know what I
Other
mean?
people's but listen,
Which is what was crazy to me is that until he learned how to brand himself, no matter how talented he was, he couldn't really get nowhere. Like I don't know if y'all saw that yet. Like until he started putting himself in the videos, it was like nobody was calling. And once he started doing that, then everybody's like, "Who is this nigga? Oh, hey, let me get that." You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was crazy because it's like you start recognizing why people do that. You know what I'm saying? Like why does Spike Lee always make a feature in his own movies? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you do that? But it's to get the credibility and recognition for the art that you put out there, because 9 times out of 10 people don't go the extra mile to read the credits or go and see like who's credited by the source. They just see who's put out there visually, you know what I mean, or advertisement. So I thought that was something that we could all take away from. You know what I'm saying?
Also, the next question I had: what are your thoughts on, the collaborators and other interviewees that were a part of the documentary? Did they add to it? And I mean, were there people that you wish would have been involved that weren't?
Oh,
I thought they did just enough. I see, like they had a lot of people in there, and even the people that were in there, it's not like they were going on for a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
right,
They had like little. They only had like little short things that people were saying. So I feel like in the time that we had, I feel like they incorporated a lot, the most impactful, the most. You know what I mean? I think they did a good job with the people that they chose. I mean, you can't fit everybody. It's not you just. They got a time limit. You got to cut it down. You know what I mean? There's edits and shit that happen. But they had pretty much everybody, bro. One more time, like Busta Rhymes.
mm-hmm.
He was like, everybody else was getting one of them Jones. You can't be left
Right.
out. I go get me
I
one
want
too.
me a hit too.
That's crazy. Just talking about going and linking up with Pharrell. That's crazy. Like you needed a Pharrell hit if you was somebody back in the day.
When
bro.
Gwen Stefani was like,
That's why I was
Stefani was like, we never did this before. The band was like, I don't know. She was like, let me just see, whatever. So we go down to the studio. It's this fancy studio. Everybody's working there. And Pharrell is literally running in and out of rooms. And that's when they start playing the montage where it's like the Justin Timberlake song, What's the rhyme song?
That was my favorite.
This song, the Madonna song, and you're just like, wait, Mystical, like all Jay-Z, all these songs that you know, and you just, I realized I could make a now that's what I call music 2007 fucking
Pharrell. Just
Bro,
for Pharrell.
just from
Bro,
this
a Pharrell
soundtrack
playlist.
alone.
A Pharrell playlist is one of the craziest playlists
You've ever heard
Ever.
in your fucking life. What do you even? I know all of these songs, and I knew the Pharrell songs. I didn't know how many songs were Pharrell songs. If that's how
I don't know
The
if y'all know
catalog is
this, but
crazy.
he also Pharrell also did Britney Spears songs. So I was surprised they didn't bring Britney Spears.
Did they do the Little
That was
John
the only person.
one? What's the?
Nah,
Doesn't he do that? Doesn't he do one of those? Like he's somewhere in the Shine or the Barrington. Look.
Yeah, so many songs.
There were songs that weren't even in here because maybe they didn't get to like the
like
clearance
he
and
got
shit.
so many songs,
That's
bro.
Yeah.
how much music Pharrell has done, and I knew, but I didn't know. Like
Pharrell.
I don't use the word genius lightly.
You never
and
seen
I would
them-
give him
I've never seen them stacked next to each other like that.
right. I've not seen them all in one place before,
I've
and
never
that's
seen that before.
fucking crazy. The people who showed up, I think, appropriately did so. And you know what? In real life, I'm actually glad it didn't get serious because I don't think I would have want to watch.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to watch him and Khalees confront this in fucking Lego. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
I feel
Exactly. We
like,
know this thing is regarding this Lego.
yeah. So I don't
let's go.
think anyone was left out because you can't really get too dark in
Right.
Lego.
Yeah,
format.
Lego. Yeah.
What I did find comical because part of the question was who's like my favorite interviewer like in the movie was
Are you gonna say Nori?
no fuck
Nori was funny though.
Yeah, Nori-
yeah, but Pusha, it was actually Pusha because
Oh no, his was
first
good.
of all, it's like they cut off the movie for Pharrell and focused on him for a little bit. It showed like they gave him a little backstory. They said how he got dropped and he really needed this hit. And first of all, like you just said, they kind of glazed over like how shitty he was because he called this nigga and said, "Hey, if you don't be here in 10 minutes,
I'm a
I'ma
good.
give it." I was like, "Bitch, you feel me?"
When you
That's crazy.
that's what producers do.
That's 10 minutes is crazy.
They showed him Nick almost getting hit by a fucking car trying to run over to the goddamn
Right.
studio. Like he could have died. He
Right.
was so desperate.
But what I found comical is that Pusha T gave him all the flowers and credibility that he deserved, and then right after that, he said,
I just want to say this. Even though I love Hove is my guy. Y'all all know that. I would not want to hear that nigga on that grinding beat.
"Not at all."
It wouldn't.
Not at
That
all.
joint
Not at all.
wouldn't have, you know what I mean, hit right.
Not at
And I
all.
fuss with Hove, but he wouldn't have did that joint justice the way the clips did. You know?
And that's coming from a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
But what I was gonna say
Why?
was
maybe
right
he-
after that, he said, "Yeah, I got my best song from this nigga, and I got my worst song from this nigga.
Bro,
The
bro,
worst song I ever did came from Pharrell. You feel
Bro,
me? So
he
he was my
He
favorite.
said, I
He
don't
was the
know.
most
And he's like,
trendy.
of course you don't. It was so bad.
bro, he called him and he said, "I got the best beat I ever made."
Ever
man."
made.
Get down here in 10 minutes, or I'm giving it
Or I'm
to
giving it to Jay-Z.
I now choose to believe that was a lie. Well, not that Pusha was lying, that Pharrell was lying, that he wasn't going to do the beat to nobody, but he wanted Pusha to be hungry,
Marketing.
fiery. I need this,
He had to push quicker.
and he did.
I see what you go. I see. That's smart, bro.
I'm choosing to believe that. Nobody. He didn't say that, but I'm choosing to believe that he wasn't going to give that beat to nobody. He
And
wanted.
also, I didn't really know that they was actually cool like that since like
Cause
Sandbox type shit.
He's
That him and-
terrified. Do I give out
I
another?
mean, I ain't know him and Pusha T was like
well,
really-
because
really
it's
went back like that.
ain't nobody from Virginia. Like they all know each other. I didn't know that Timbaland and Missy used to be over fucking Pharrell.
Right.
in
I didn't
high
know that
school,
either. I thought that was crazy.
going boop 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 on the fucking keyboard.
I honestly thought that was a lie. I thought they was just like, you know what?
And I started Googling how old are these motherfuckers? There's no way they were all. He was like, no, we were just cutting ice. We were in the same high school and just cutting together and just hanging out together.
I
and I was
refuse
like,
to believe that.
I mean, shout out to Virginia. I
He
got
said-
last question.
I can say it, but we cut so much school.
Last question for everybody. All right. So, what message or feeling do you have do you walk away with after watching the documentary? And would you recommend it to someone who isn't already a Pharrell fan?
I walked away with it with more of an appreciation for Pharrell. I will 100% give it to somebody who never seen Pharrell before, or heard Pharrell before. Yeah, that joint was great, bro. Everything about it, from the animation to the music selection to the like the feelings behind it. Like it felt good. Like finally we got a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like I like this movie.
Shout out to Chad too. I didn't realize how much he had to do with some of this music. Like even with the Snoop Dogg beat when he dun 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 dun, I was like, okay, Chad was going crazy. Chad was doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give him credibility.
Shout out to Chad.
Chad Hugo, that nigga.
But Chad was great.
Once I started doing them like back to back, I started to hear the Neptunes sound that we come to know, and I could hear that like Pharrell's on the dum, 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 and then here he comes with the meow meow, like he likes to synth and the progression, and so they just keep like finding a pocket together, and I liked how many different ways they could do that to a million different songs. It's just I thought it was very lovely. I would recommend it because it's just visually interesting. Like you could put it on for children because it's bright colored and it's got good music. You could put it on for music like aficionados, people who work in music, engineers, because they understand what they're hearing and seeing here, because it's also a bit technical in its discussion of music and stuff. I thought it was just really well done. I guess because it's new, I haven't heard quite as much about it, but it could be nominated for various things that get nominations. I don't know. I thought it was a really, really good piece, despite its, graciousness toward its subject. I don't know, 9 out of 10, friends. Really top.
I give it a 10 out of 10. This is one of my favorite documentaries we ever watched.
I know, especially
is it a documentary or is it a movie? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, what's a movie?
Well,
a
documentary
is just a movie. Like
a documentary is a movie, but
that's what I mean.
It was so good. It was so entertaining. Like
this is a documentary. This is.
I mean, I'll give my answer. I'll definitely recommend it to somebody who isn't a Pharrell fan. If you want to watch something enjoyable, go ahead and watch it. Now, the message that I took away from it is, never lose your imagination. Always be creative. Just never let that creative engine die. Just do what you love. And let your imagination take you where it's going to take you. So that's the message I got from it. Overall, solid John. It was a good John. I liked it, and like I said, I would definitely recommend it to Pharrell fans and non-Pharrell fans.
Yeah, you could it's just a good thing to watch, regardless of your familiarity. You could know him for everything he's done and nothing. It's a good. I didn't feel too slow, too long. It was good. It was good work. Good work here.
I thought the movie was smart for 2 different reasons. One, because of his legacy, he took control of his own narrative. You know what I'm saying? He didn't wait like a Luther Vandross situation where Be honest, you know what I'm saying? You don't have control of your own
Let
narrative.
them
You
make
can't,
the story about me
you
later.
can't, you know what I mean? There's no reference to you saying how you felt in this moment. I think it was smart to put out your own movie or your own biography in the same way that is age neutral. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I also think it was kind of not say a love letter to his kid, but the heavy sense of like legacy that he's passed on to his son. You feel what I'm saying? And like, I feel like that was part of the inspiration to make it kid friendly because like that helped him get back to who he was being a father. You feel what I'm saying? What I took away from this movie was you have to be careful about the people you keep around you. You know what I'm saying? Like you the people who push you towards like creativity as far as like where you feel that safety and love and all that other stuff, those are the people you keep around you, not people who try to capitalize off of what you already built. You know what I'm saying? Trying to take from you or redirect you. You feel me? So I thought that was cool. But do I recommend this to another Pharrell fan or somebody who's not a Pharrell fan? For sure. I thought that was part of the marketing. Like this is a movie that can really just go for anybody that just so happens to be about an amazing producer.
I mean, definitely.
Oh. And the bit about how he got his manager because he was calling that other producer every day, and he would only get the intern, so they just got chopping it up on the phone, and then it was just like phone friends, and so and then one day they met, and he played him his song, and he was like, "This is really good." He was like, "Okay, what is my manager?" He was like, "What?" Just.
It's like, we'll figure it out together.
It was that I guess I forgot to answer that part. If I were to take away something, or perhaps what was the overall, thesis of the film? There's the value of, like you said, like imagination, just like kind of believing in other people and just like being curious and trying things and not feeling like so stunted. Like he said, he felt odd and stuff, and so he didn't really feel like he felt in. But instead of I don't know, closing himself off, he just kept opening himself up to more people and different people and more people and different people, and then eventually you find your people. And I just thought there was something really nice in that like he found his people and then more people and more people and more people.
I can't believe he was outbeating Timberland, all these other producers when he was put up for awards, bro. Like he really was headlining.
Like that wasn't even like a big deal to him. He like they used to be hanging out in the same fucking basements or whatever. Like that is what I didn't realize. Like I didn't realize Pharrell was peers with these people like at the exact same time. For some reason I always skewed him as younger. A little bit, not like a whole lot, but just a little bit. But he's like, no, like they were in my house. We hung out all the time. I'd call them and they'd come over. Like I did not realize that. But it made it more fun too, to make it like a little local musical encore.
It was cool imagining Missy Elliott, Timberland, and Pharrell and all these people as kids, and
just high school hanging out, making music.
Yeah. At the table, hitting beats on the table and shit. I thought that was really cool.
Literally just the cutest thing I could ever imagine in my entire life, and then to throw it in Legos. Really well done. It's exceptional, dynamic, stunning, wonderful. I'm very pleased. Maybe I'm a 10 out of 10. I don't know what I would have,
10 out of 10 for me.
I don't know. I said 9 out of 10 in general, but
really good.
I don't know what I would have needed it to have done else. So sure.
I kept saying it throughout the movie. I'm like, yo, this is so good. This is crazy.
Solid John, good documentary, 10 out of 10. I would recommend, like I said, good John, good watch.
Is that
great recommendation? It did balance out, what I mean? The
tens across the board.
Yes, yeah, we all,
Wow.
It was a good balance from the Luther John to this one. It definitely, you could tell the shift from the entertainment value in each. You know what I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the overall story and theme of the Luther Vandross drum was excellent in my opinion. It just didn't grab you and entertain you as much as this one. You know what I mean? So, but overall, it was two solid drums, but this one was very vastly better. You know what I mean? But
And I
don't
learned
think
a lot about.
I learned so much.
Like I feel like I should have known more about Pharrell than I did Luther Vandross. You feel me? Like,
definitely.
this show taught me a lot about Pharrell, bro. He's one. Like I always knew that Pharrell was one of the goats, right?
Yeah, he's
Like,
actually
bro,
much more
nigga,
prolific
he is
than
really
people
one of the.
realize. And
He's
again,
really one of the goats. Like
this
yo,
didn't cover everything.
It
This
didn't.
is just some of the hugely
shit.
successful things
that
he's
is
done.
crazy. That's
There are other that didn't even work. Yeah, I think this was
I mean, definitely a top 5 producer of all time.
We
Yeah,
all
For
no
sure.
question.
He might be top 3.
Yeah, top 3. She might be number 1 according to who you ask. You know
you
what I mean?
didn't like him. You might have to look at this and the undeniable proof. The evidence is there.
Yeah, I
that
mean-
it's real.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if you said.
I also want to say one quick thing. I like that throughout the movie they show like his transformation of like even from like his clothing. Like if you notice like in different time periods of his life, his style of wear was it was developing. You feel what I'm saying? Like even like if he was on the stage with Snoop Dogg or you feel me like his style like based on like where he was at in life was switching up and changing. I thought that was also cool. Just a little attention to detail. I just like that. That's all.
I did like that because I thought it was so funny how they were still doing Lego bodies, but like changing the outfits. So you would see like this top line of like where the shirt started, and then on the like the body. I thought it was so specific that they were gonna bother to make it look like if you put a little head on the body. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
If I had to do one critique, the only critique I would give it was the hair. The hair it bothered me a couple of times. Like the way they put it on the Legos. Like Timbaland and Pharrell had the same little lines put on their head, like to show like hairline and shit. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It looked bad to me.
That's the only way they can show it.
Yeah, it's a small critique. Like I said, it's a small critique.
it's just a.
But it looked like they didn't know how to do fades and shit like that for black
But you
people.
can't do
Can't
a
put fade
fade
on
on
the
a
That is
Lego.
a Lego.
I got look, it's a small critique.
Six. You can't do a fade on a Lego, so they had to do little dots, which I found very funny actually, because when they would do it on the beards too, because like,
Yeah,
somebody wouldn't have
exactly.
beards, so it would just be dots on the face. I thought that was so funny.
That's my line.
One of the pieces I didn't get to mention when we were talking about like scenes that actually surprised you. So when Pharrell was watching TV as a kid and he watched Star Trek and Spock did the live long and prosper, but because they're fucking Legos, you see,
Oh yeah.
because they did the Spock
Yeah.
like a 3D Lego, like a full head and body to do the fingers. And then when they showed Pharrell, he was like, that movie was funny.
Good attention to
Just
detail.
like like physical comedy, like just
Yeah.
that type of funny. I laughed out loud at that part. And I just want that to be known and appreciated. To live long and prosper. And he said, yes. Good movie. 10 out of 10. I don't know if we've done a 10 out of 10 on a,
Good job. Probably the best documentary we watched so far.
if we have, then
Probably not even probably. You know what I mean, definitely.
I don't
Even though
know.
the XXX Tentacion John was amazing.
Woo! 0 out of 0.
No, it wasn't. You liked
Woo! I promise.
Why would you even bring that shit back up, Hollywood?
I'm just.
Okay,
It was a good documentary. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know,
You liked
let's
it.
do that.
I watched it with you.
I
You liked
remember.
Look, don't get her started, bro. Come on, let's.
all right, let's go to who said that.
Moving right along. What an
Who said that? Who
Stop
said
trying
that?
to ruin my mood.
We gonna just, you know what
I
I mean?
don't like anything about it. Stop.
Oh,
Who said that?
Oh
I mean,
my god.
Goddamn, on and on. And this beat is zoning. I control the mind straight over the phone. Let me explore the words, something like a Taurus. Unless they, goddamn it, they never get addicted unless from Louis Bells to Jimmy Choo's is real. She know the time when she see the Richard Mille. Who said that?
Was it for real?
You're correct.
That's
It is
the
for
only.
real.
That's the only nigga I could imagine saying some shit like that.
That is for real. You know what I mean? The song is "Can I Have It Like That" featuring Gwen Stefani. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is for real.
And I did ask.
Yeah.
When Gwen Stefani showed up before they started playing the songs, I said, when the hell did she meet Pharrell and for what? And then they started playing the songs. I was like, oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song. Oh!
But yes, that's you. Who said that? Shout out to Common for getting that done.
He wrote
I ain't gonna lie. I've been killing them who said that lately. I don't know if y'all keeping up with stories. I've been killing shit. I'm just saying.
Love Pally for
You've been killing shit. And now your song of the week is, where the hell is it? Do y'all have a song of the week this week?
Oh, huh. You should have told me that because I have one.
No, I'm saying it's in here somewhere. Hold on.
This week.
I got a song of the week.
Because
Oh yeah, I found it. Never mind. Here it is.
It's called Popular. I've been listening to Popular 17 times a day.
Your song of the week.
Hey, I recommended that last week.
Your song of the week is Erykah Badu and Alchemist, Next to You. You know what I mean? So that's your song of the week right there. You know what I mean? Check that joint out. Fire John.
I'm pretty sure.
I love that song. I done had it on repeat since, you know what I mean? It's a good joint. You know. Check that joint out.
I'm pretty sure he has one out now with Rhapsody, I believe. He's doing a thing. The whole album is all the collabs. So every new release from him is gonna be him and somebody.
Shout out to Alchemist. Probably review that album whenever it dropped. But yeah. You know
Oh,
but yeah, that's, you know what I mean? That's your song of the week. Make sure y'all go check out Luther Vandross documentary, Pharrell documentary. We'll be back next week for a whole nother episode. A lot more to talk about. You know what I mean? We will see y'all. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. You know what I mean?
Salud.